15 minutes with me, what would you do?
With you? Jump.
No, with me, look.
Yeah, no, like, jump in the water. Like,
What are you serious?
yeah. Like, quite literally gonna have to launch myself.
I literally just got my stomach. Are you?
Yeah. I'm jumping.
Cut the camera, that's ridiculous.
For crying out loud, woman, you can't be surprised if a man doesn't want to talk to you when you dress like you're ready to do a little hustling in the form of walking on some particular streets. A majority of self-respecting men want the complete opposite of what you're proposing. And that's because when you dress like that, it's not for the man, it's for men. Multiple Y chromosome possessors who will give you some form of attention that your dopamine-addled brain interprets as validation. But you're so far down that particular rabbit hole of filth and depravity that there's no hope for you at all. No wonder that guy wants to jump off the bridge into the water. I'm watching you through the safety of the internet, and you still make me unclean enough to need to take a shower.
You got the not feeling the chemistry text again. Well, here's why. Feminism has completely destroyed the confidence of men. You're afraid to even lean into your jokes, or even make them to begin with, because you're afraid of offending a woman. You're completely unwilling to acknowledge her appearance, or physically touch her because you're afraid of being creepy. And you're afraid of revealing interesting things about yourself because you think you're weird and have nothing to offer compared to that 1% man. In short, you're a nice guy, and nice guys don't stimulate women.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, lady. That particular ideology hasn't really destroyed the confidence in men so much as it's hyperinflated the egos of modern women and made them think of themselves as literal goddesses who can do no wrong. Talking to a broad like that isn't like walking on eggshells. It's like walking through a minefield in the middle of an artillery barrage while the bear cavalry charges forward with their guns ablazing. It takes a certain level of moron to think that that's a smart idea under any circumstances. Now, you don't need to tell us what stimulates a woman. We already know. Regardless of whatever drivel you're about to say, we see it through their actions, and it's the 1% man who tickles your fancy, not an average guy.
So what's the solution? Simple. Start acting like a man. That 1% man energy is nothing more than making that woman you're with feel like a woman. Take it from me, women know what men are like. So when you're holding back and acting timid, we instantly lose attraction. Do you really think that we put on our best outfit, a full face of makeup, and cute heels just so that you won't notice? We're trying to impress you, and the men that understand that are the ones that throw timidness out the window.
Wrong! Okay, I will give you some credit. That advice is solid and would have worked if this was, say, 50 years ago. But there's a fine line between an average man showing assertiveness and confidence and the kind of man that modern broads truly desire. Now, let's say you have two men, an average dude and Emperor Tyronius Chadicus Raeralius. Both of them are confident men who are assertive and are quite masculine. Now, they both talk to a broad for 15 minutes. Now, let's say the average man is funny and down to earth, but his eminence is, well, he's an emperor. Which one do you think modern women are going to want to actively pursue? Now, best case scenario, the average man will get put into the friend zone for future use. Worst case scenario, she will find some absurd excuse to feel unsafe around him and label him a creep. And that label runs the legitimate risk of that particular man having his life ruined professionally, personally, and legally. It's not something we're afraid of for no reason. So with both outcomes being different levels of crappy, the question remains, why bother?
They have the courage to establish physical touch. They're not afraid to say risky things. They aren't afraid to connect with a woman. So stop being scared, stop being timid. Embrace your masculinity and go put it on full display for a lucky lady.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
When a man embraces his masculinity, trust me, sister, he's not doing it to woo a modern woman. Once a man gains his self-respect, he starts the arduous journey of becoming the best version of himself possible, and that's no easy feat. It takes self-reflection, discipline, and a certain level of fearlessness. And if a man is going to go through all of that work, do you honestly think he's going to make the attempt to try to impress an open-air bazaar of off-brand discounted broads? Now, I do agree, more men need to embrace their masculinity, but not to embrace some random shrew. They should do it for themselves because we have value. And at the same time, women need to ditch their masculinity, embrace their femininity, and accept the harsh truth that 95% of men out there aren't creepy felons and are perfectly fine. But let's be honest, there's a better chance of a Firefly reboot than that actually happening. Oh, please, intergalactic space god Mobile Char, all hail, don't let that happen.
Well, something about that is just downright unsettling.
As a late 20s, going into my 30s, single girly, I'm struggling. I am battling between, yes, girl, you're so super independent. Like, go off. Yeah, have your high standards. And then I'm struggling between, like, I need a man. I need a man. Not just any man. A good man. How are you gonna go do that? Go put yourself out there. But how does one do that? Because dating apps ain't it. They ain't it. And whenever a man flirts with me, I pull this. They say they flirt, and I'm like, Anyway, yeah, so I just...
Idiots! It's simple!
You know, whenever I think about the modern woman, I imagine a big, beautiful space cruiser that's been traveling the cosmos for generations. It was commanded by men who knew how to keep things running smoothly for thousands of years. And then one day, a woman walks onto the bridge and starts relentlessly screaming at the captain that she wants to be in command. There's no real reason why, she's just convinced she could do a better job for no reason. And after 150 years of relentless nagging, the captain and crew relent. They give her command and abandon ship in their escape pods, jettisoning themselves into the unknown where they have finally found peace. Meanwhile, the woman is freaking out because she suddenly remembered that she has no idea how to command a space cruiser. And then she lies there, curled up in the fetal position, wondering where all of the good men have gone. But we ain't coming back, sister. After you see the glory of witnessing C-beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate, you really don't want to come back to a dim-witted dame who screwed everything up for no reason.
I don't know, but it's getting really hot out here in Arizona, and people are by the pool, couples are by the pool, and they're like flirting and hanging all over each other, and it's kind of hot. And I just think back to that feeling, and that feeling is kind of unmatched. I'm not gonna lie. When you have a good connection and you're like, oh yeah, water, pool, hot, sun, tan, abs. Like, what the?
You have had the frontal lobe of your brain removed and replaced with bubble wrap.
Hey, lady, are you okay? Are you having a stroke right now? Because it looks like you can't seem to comprehend your surroundings. The reason why you feel the way you do is because deep down on a subconscious level, you know that you should have bonded with a man over a decade ago. So whenever you see a young couple flirtatiously having some fun by the pool, you're simultaneously jealous of them and insecure with yourself. But instead of taking some accountability and just accepting that you done screwed up, you're just living your life in a perpetual fog. Now, lowering your standards isn't really going to help you anymore. You can't respect those kinds of men, and the top tier men with the abs that you crave don't want you either because you've crusted yourself out of that particular dating market. You kind of screwed yourself over, woman. Just not in the way you thought you would back in your 20s.
One night stand is out of the question. I know that, like, that's not how we're supposed to function as a society, but, like, that was so 27 of me. What is the answer here? Does your girl get lower standards? Does she keep them high forever and then just use what's in her nightstand? Or does someone eventually just pop up? You know, like, I'm struggling. This is for all of the single ladies that are struggling between staying strong, being independent, and then also just wanting it. If you're like me, I feel you.
Emotional damage!
Now, this is absolutely fascinating. Modern women have reached the point where their brains are literally glitching out. After years of being a strong and independent boss bae ass queen, they literally can't even comprehend why their lives are so wrong. And now they are glitching out so hard that they can't even communicate complete sentences, and I'm not even sure they even know what they're saying. Now, we do. They're clearly saying that they regret their decision to completely reject men and go against the natural order of society. But they're still clinging on to that hope that there is a ripped masculine man man that will provide them with a family and everything they've ever wanted in life, but that's not happening either. Sister, you have made such a mess of things that we're just gonna sit back and watch as you make a pathetic attempt to intellectually regress, which is yet another thing that we don't think you can even do correctly.
This is just so shocking. I mean, I must just be so monumentally naive.
You are.
Yes, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna ask him if he has it ready. Okay. Hey, they're asking for those Q1 numbers. Please tell me you have them.
Hello, Peter. What's happening?
Hello there, Margaret. It's nice to meet you. I'm Locke, the new Human Resources Director here at the Center for the Cosmic Glory of the Intergalactic Space God Flowmatured, all hail, and we expect a certain level of class, distinction, and decorum on this premises. And here's the problem. Outside of the fact that you're not wearing the company-issued business toga that you received at orientation, it's your conduct, which we have determined to be unbecoming. Now, according to the employee handbook that I faxed to you, in Section 42 Omega, subsection 9, you are allowed to stink up the communal break room with only one kind of fish exactly 1.27 times. But according to his effervescent magnificence, all hail, the stains on the break room chairs would state otherwise, and it's such a shame as well. Perhaps the fault was on us. We should have known better than to allow a metaphorical internet fishmonger such an important job in this office, so I'm sorry to say it's just not working out, and for the sake of the universe, we have decided to just let you and your entire planet go permanently with extreme prejudice. Please return your cafeteria pass and leave the premises immediately.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
You know, this is why men want teenage girls. This is why they're so obsessed with like body counts and the idea that a woman is ran through. Let me tell you what. It would take a lot more than a bunch of pencils to run through most broads. But what you do run through is our emotions. That is why you need to be concerned with body count. It's because we do get ran through, and we are run through.
Oh, that was the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's go!
Did I miss something here? What you're talking about is one and the same, you smug bag of salty contempt. Men are concerned with body counts because the more men with which you do the bedroom bounce, the less able you are to emotionally bond with a man, thereby leaving you incapable of loving, trusting, or respecting any man who's willing to take you seriously. And instead of dealing with your issues, you decided to take the low blow route and accuse a majority of men of a despicable crime against humanity that YouTube won't allow us to mention. And for the record, Toots, we didn't run through your emotions. I don't see how we could be at fault for that when your certain brand of begrudgingly salty judgment has been ignoring our existence for the last decade. But I guess you're just not emotionally mature enough to accept such obvious truths, now are ya?
You beat us down. You beat us down. And it has nothing to do with the physical that you love to focus on. That is the least of your worries. We give birth. But the reason why you guys want these unsullied preteens is because you know deep down that the more men she is around, the more damaged she will become mentally, and the less likely she will put up with your fucking bullshit. That's all it is. So just be honest.
Oh, come on!
Oh, you jealously bitter bag of bones. We've been telling you this for years. The only difference between us and you is that we don't feel the need to accuse you of predatory crimes when we state this fact. Let me pose this question, sweetheart. What exactly is the alternative? Except you and your baggage? What does that benefit our lives? You're not friendly, you're not caring, and you are extremely judgmental to a concerning degree. You take and you take and you take to the point where even the mere notion of treating a man with the minimum amount of kindness is enough to send you into a blind fury. You'll treat that man like dirt because deep down, you do not want that man. You want one of your earlier trysts, but because you can't have them, you resort to treating the next man with disrespect and contempt because he's not the man you desire. Face it, woman, you've grown into a bitter, resentful parasite, and you just expect a man to accept that. And to that, we say,
No! No, 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 no!
No, not this f***ing time. No f***ing way, no f***ing way, no f***ing way, no f***ing way.
It's easy to be shameful and shame women for all the men that they've been around. It's hard for you to deal with the fact that the reason why she's angry, the reason why she's done with y'all, and the reason why she doesn't want to put up with your shit anymore is because of all of your brothers. All of the men who she met before you, starting with her dad and her grandpa and her uncles and the kids in kindergarten. All of them, every single encounter with any of you damaged her. So that's why you want to go find somebody fresh off the vine so you can be the first to damage.
You must seek therapy. That's where I would go with that, but that's my own.
You know, you gotta love a divorced broad who will just accuse all men of being inhuman monsters just so she can refuse any form of accountability for her actions. Because you're wrong, sister. Men seek out young women not to damage them, but quite the opposite. They actually want someone who can bond with them, to take care of them, and potentially carry his child, which are things that you are incapable of doing. Women with substantially low body counts are friendlier, trust easier, and are more fertile than the damaged ones. And if this adult chooses an older man to be her mate, then you're just gonna have to swallow that jealousy and accept the fact that all you have to look forward for the rest of your life is a phone that never rings, a wine glass that will never satisfy, and a massive population of men who will look at you with disgust. Because like you said, real men don't want to deal with an aged out broad who's been run through. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Maybe ring the notification bell, share this video, and leave a couple of comments. Today's subject is aluminum siding. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other out there, and just remember not to step in any elephant dookie. We all know nothing good comes from that. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.